friends, welcome to another declutter. Today we're doing face palettes and blushes and bronzers because that drawer is getting out of hand quite quickly. So let's jump right on in. I'm going to show you guys my blush and bronzer drawer because it's a hot mess.
Here it is. This is my blush and bronzer drawer. We've got some brushes on top that just need to go. We've got powder blushes and bronzers, my Made by Mitchell color cases, cream bronzers, and then cream blushes, and then as well as some palettes along the back here. It's just way too cluttered. I want to make room for some of my highlighters as well, so let's just go ahead and get right on into cleaning this up.
I am overwhelmed already. Oh my gosh. I'm going to start out with the palettes that were in the front, and then we'll do like big face palettes at the end because I do have those sitting on my vanity. So I'm just going to start pulling some of these out. The first one I have, so these that are in here are obviously these smaller ones that just have like bronzers and highlights, or blush and bronzers. They don't have like everything in there, you know. I don't think so, maybe a couple, but yeah, these are the smaller ones that just happen to fit in there. So this is from Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the, what are you? I know it's like a blush and bronzer duo. Yeah, in Lilac Love and Top Tan. While I do really love this for the bronzer, I have another Jaclyn bronzer that I like more, and I do feel like these are a bit too light for me. They're beautiful formulas. I don't know, the bronzer I can make work in the wintertime. I'm not so much of a fan of the blush. I hate to start a maybe pile, but I'm gonna start a maybe pile. So then I'm just gonna start from the front. I've got this little ColourPop, the Born to Blush Cheek palette, and this is what it looks like. My complaint with this is that it never really shuts all the way. Like, it won't click shut. So I'm afraid that Super Shock one day is gonna dry out, but I really do enjoy this. I love the bronzer, love the blushes. I'm gonna keep that one. Then I've got this Patrick Ta blush duo, and she's blushing. It's got the cream on top and then the powder at the bottom. Love this. I would like to keep that one. I have this Glam Light one. I actually have a drawer for my Glam Light stuff, so this one's definitely gonna go in there, but it's a Scooby-Doo one. I'm gonna keep that. I actually just ordered the Chucky one because it came back in stock. It was a freaking pre-order, so it's not gonna ship at least until September 1st. And then I also got one of the Scooby-Doo, like the Halloween ones that they launched last year, I think. The purple and blue based palette. And then I think I got the eyeliner too because they were on sale. So I didn't have that palette yet. Love to collect Glam Light palettes. Cannot wait to try that one out. I have this little ocean face palette from Planet Revolution. I absolutely love this. I love specifically the blusher and highlighter. The bronzer is way too shimmery, but it does make a gorgeous eyeshadow. And again, my complaint with this is it doesn't shut. So I'm afraid that they will dry out eventually, but I just got it, so I'm not really worried about it right now. This is a Juvia's Place Blushed Rouge in volume 4. It's the beautiful cool pink and hot pink duo. I do think I can get rid of this because you will see I have quite a few bright blushes, and then I also have the Made by Mitchell blush book that has a few pinks in there. So I think I can let this one go. Decluttering is really hard for me because I love everything that I have, or I wouldn't have it. Everything's pretty good quality, so I really do struggle with it sometimes. This is a little face quad from I Heart Revolution. It's the Caramel Candy face palette, and this is what it looks like. I do feel like this is very similar to the ColourPop. ColourPop? Is that what it? Yeah, ColourPop one. I just feel like the I Heart Revolution is a bit on the deeper side as far as the bronzers go, but you get the warm tone bronzer, you get the champagne-y highlighter, and then a peachy and a pink blush. So I do prefer the ColourPop formula, but do I want to let this go? This one from I Heart Revolution is super pigmented. I think I'm going to hold on to it for a bit longer because I really do enjoy it. It's very pigmented. You have to go with a very light hand, but I do really enjoy that palette. So the next few that I have are like the contour and highlight palettes. So I've got my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. This is the mini one. Love this stuff. Keeping for sure. I've got a Wet n Wild Sesame Street Complexion Trio. It's got 2 bronzers and a highlighter. Really like this one as well. I got it for like $3.50 on sale at Walmart. This one from Wet n Wild, I really need to try it again. It's the In Love with the Cocoa face palette. It is a contour and highlight palette. It still smells so good. keeping. I love that so much. I need to use it more. I'm going to put it to the side so I can use it more. Then I have my KVD Shade and Light Contour in the shades Lyric and Shadow Play. It looks like a light, medium, and a dark, and I want to say this was the light one. It is very light. I really do love this. I take this traveling with me all the time. It is a go-to of mine. I just decluttered my cream liquid and bronzers, my cream liquids and bronzers not too long ago. So I'm going to go through there and just see if there's anything that I can, you know, live without. And if there is, I'll definitely show you guys. If not, we're just going to go ahead and move right along to the powder. So I'll be right back. So when it came to cream bronzers, I did not want to get rid of anything. I really haven't gained that much bronzer stuff since I filmed the cream product declutter. But I do have a few blushes that I looked through and I really wanted to get rid of a few. So the Hard Candy Selfie Clear to Pink Blush, haven't used it since then. I want to get rid of it. As well as this Wet n Wild blush stick in the shade Major Flush. I want to get rid of that one too. The Wet n Wild Fantasy Makers Cheek and Jelly Lip Stain in just a little prick. This is that weird one. It's like a little blood clot. I don't know. A part of me wants to put it in my lip drawer, so I think I might move it there. Let's do that, because I do think it would make a beautiful lip stain. I just don't find that it works well on the cheeks. Have I got a scratch back there? Oh, I do. Yeah, I just don't feel like it works well on the cheeks. It's not very blendable, but I feel like if I do it on my lips, you know, if you put like lip balm on it beforehand or mix it with the lip balm, I do feel like it would work better. And then the last one I want to get rid of is this one. It's in my Charlotte Tilbury bottle, but it's actually from Milk. It's their gel blush. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of just hardened in there. And yeah, I'm gonna throw it away. When I got it from Marshalls, it came without the top on it, and I didn't open the box because I actually trusted it was fine. My mistake. I know. I should have got rid of it. I shouldn't have picked it up, but it was super cheap and I wanted to try it. Love the color. Hate that the product dried up, so I am technically decluttering 4, but getting rid of 3 from my collection in general. Okay, going through my blushes, I realized I have a problem. I have way too many. Yeah, and I realize I have a problem, but am I willing to really fix it and hardcore declutter? No. I am sorry. I wish I could, but I just cannot. I love my babies. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm hoping to at least declutter 5. That's probably not going to happen, but you know, I can try. So starting off with this Ciate London, this is a marbled light blush in the shade Halo. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm a long time ago. It was very pretty, but I just don't really use it. I do think I'm going to declutter. It's one of those like really glowy blushes that I do have elsewhere. So yay, starting off strong. That started off strong, but looking at everything, I'm like, wow, I just don't think I can part with anything else because they are my babies. Yeah, this is my problem. So let's just keep going, okay? I've got a KVD Everlasting blush in the shade Rosebud. I'm trying to show packaging for everything too, because in my eyeshadow declutter, somehow I was really upset that I didn't go through and show the packaging for each one. I'm sorry if I'm kind of missing out on showing packaging. I'm trying to remember, but sometimes I forget, and that would just take absolutely forever. This is a beautiful mauve shade. I love this. I do specifically love the packaging for this one because it's just so beautiful. I also have another KVD one, the Crush on Blush, and this one comes with a blush and a highlighter. This one is a bit on the older side, but I do still love it. I've made quite the dent in that highlighter. I really do love it. But are they similar? No, one's definitely more purpley and then the other one's more warm. I definitely want to keep both of these. I love these colors. They're so unique to my collection, which is why I just can't manage to part with the Crush on Blush because I really do love that color. This one from NARS, I swore I got rid of Orgasm from NARS. Mine's just hard panned, and I need to get rid of it. Bye-bye. I've always thought it was a bit hard panned and just lackluster. I don't know, I'll swatch it one more time. But even the color, for me, I prefer the liquid Orgasm, just a bit more. Yeah, bye-bye. I don't need it. Okay. See, I feel like that was a win for me. I got it half off when I worked at Ulta because it was like Employee Appreciation Week during Christmas, I think, or something. And I have super watery eyes, so I don't know why. Anyway, so we got 25% off of everything in the store, but then for holiday, like 1 week of the month, they gave us an extra 25% off, so I got it for 15 bucks. It was half off. Loved it at the time. Also picked up the liquid one, and I love it so much more. This one, the next one anyway, is a ColourPop pressed powder blush in the shade Jet Set. I've heard this one has been raved about. It's just not for me. However, it's got a bit of glitter in it, but I'm wondering if it would make a pretty bronzer. I need to stop. I need to stop. Okay. I'm gonna get rid of it because I don't use it as a blush. Why do I want a brown blush? Plus, I feel like my Made by Mitchell blush book has neutral blushes in it that I could use instead of that, and I would probably enjoy the formula of those more. Okay, Wet n Wild. I collect Wet n Wild blushes because I think they are so cute. So this first one is from their spring collection. This is the shade Flower Power. And this one's got the cutest little blossoms on it. I did drop it when I first got it back home because I was so excited to show my mom I actually found it, and then it dropped. I do think I can get rid of this one because I don't use it. Oh my gosh, that's 4. That's 4 blushes. All I gotta do is get rid of one more and I'll meet my goal. Okay, keep going strong, Alyssa. This one is from their Fantasy Makers one. I think this one's called Let's Get Smashed, but it doesn't have the name on it, but I think I remember it being called that because it smells like pumpkin spice. Yeah, it still smells so good. This was from 2 years ago. I use this one all the time still. Love it. I love a good orange blush. This one's called Seeing Red. This was last year's. And it smells too, but I can't remember what it's supposed to smell like. It's my only red blush, so of course I'm keeping. Let's see. This one's called Self Love Club. It's from their Pampered. This one with a crown on it. Super cute color. It's really good for wintertime. Right now, of course, it's a bit too light for me, but I do love this one in the like fall and winter when I get a bit more pale. This is the Do What You Love, the Care Bears blush. Definitely keeping this one. I love the color. I love a good matte blush. This is absolutely stunning. I used it quite a bit. Alright, so at least I got one of my Wet n Wild blushes out of the way. I really didn't expect myself to do that because I love their blushes. They have a really good formula. So let's do my Physicians formula. I have 2. I've got Beachy Peach. Again, this one is a bit too light for me right now, but in the wintertime, I do feel like it's great for me. But do I really need it? No, I don't feel like I do. I'm gonna get rid of it because if I want that kind of glowy blush, I can always use a highlighter over it. Ooh, that was one of my favorites and I just got rid of it. Okay, I'm not gonna go back and change my mind. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna keep pushing. This one is their Butter Blush in the shade Mauve Matte. And this is what it looks like. It's very pretty. I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile as well because I'm just not sure. And everything like face palettes or anything that I put in the maybe pile, we'll readdress that at the end. I'm not gonna go, you know, like through everything at the end of each section. We'll just do it at the very end. I've got a Kylie. What is happening here? I do not know. Okay, anyway, I'll address that in a minute. This is the Kylie Grinch blush that came out a couple years ago. Got the entire collection for Christmas. Super cute. This is the MAC the Reindeer blush, and it's kind of similar to NARS Orgasm, where it's that pink with gold shimmer in there. Definitely want to keep this one. While I don't use it as often as the other ones, it's still a very beautiful blush. This one, my ColourPop Powerpuff Girls. I don't know what's going on with the packaging down there. That's what I was trying to figure out. What in the world is going on? But this one is called Fighting Crime. I'm not going to use that. I've used it a handful of times to compare it to other blushes I own, but it's just too dark for me. So we're going to get rid of that. Oh my goodness. I've got rid of 6. I'm doing so good. House Labs Dragon Fruit Days. This is one of my favorites. I hate the packaging just because it's so dirty, but it's hard to keep clean. But I love the color. It is one of my favorites. Yes, it's a beautiful formula. Keeping that one. I have 2 more. I've got the Benefit Butterfly Blush. It's an orange. Again, I love a good orange blush. This one has that gold shimmer to it. So I find that I don't really have to wear highlighter with it because it's already got that shimmer built in. And then I have a loose blush from Jaclyn Hill. This is Love of My Life, LOML. Beautiful color. I'm not even going to take it out. I'm just going to let y'all know that I'm going to keep it, and that is the color. It's a beautiful orange. that's all my blushes, and we got rid of 6, the final count. I can't believe this now, but I can now fit my blushes into 2 little rows instead of like the 3-ish they were in. Really 1, and then my Jaclyn Hill loose blush takes up like a whole row by itself. I'll show y'all that at the end when we finish with the bronzers. But yes, I don't have as many bronzers as I do blushes. A lot of my bronzers are in palettes, I feel like, so I'm not even gonna make myself a goal like 6. I'm gonna say maybe 2 to 3 is my goal here, because I know that 6 would be over 50% of my blushes, and that's just not gonna happen. They're making crazy noises in the background. I don't know what he's doing. He's always doing something crazy, so ignore him. Sorry. It's actually late at night, and I kind of figured they would be like getting ready to settle down. Guess not. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Coffee Bronzer. This is one of my favorites. It's the Latte. Yep, Latte. It smells so good. Oh my gosh, I just love it. I feel like it's a perfect neutral tone. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. Their bronzers are my favorites. Their blushes are really good too, and that's why I can't believe that I got rid of 2, like both the ones that I had. I think my problem was the Beachy Peach one was just too light for me, and it just added a little bit of shimmer, so it acted more of like a highlighter for me. And then the other one was just too like off tone for me. All the colors in their mix just didn't match well on my skin tone, I feel like. The next one is the Ulta Beauty Baked Bronzer. This is the one that you can use wet or dry, and I actually really like this one too. It's a really pretty luminous bronzer. I usually use it dry. I don't really like to go into the wet. There it is. It's actually really beautiful. I love it. I'm gonna keep it. I honestly like that one more as like a bronzer topper to go over a matte blush or bronzer. I cannot speak tonight, and I apologize for that. But if you watch me regularly, you know I can never speak. This is the Too Faced Sun Puppy Bronzer, and again, I keep this strictly for the packaging. How could I not? That being said, it is a really gorgeous color with them all mixed together. It's a bit on the cool side, but I really do enjoy it when I do use it, so I'm going to keep it. Another one from Too Faced I have is their Hot Cocoa Bronzer. I really like that you can swirl all theirs together to create like your perfect color. Like if you don't really want the dark one, you can just mix these 2 together, or if you want more of the dark and then the little shimmer, just mix those 2 together. I like that they're customizable. It does smell, oh my gosh, keeping it for sure. Let's see, this one from Ioni I do think I can get rid of. It is the Libra Golden Glow Highlight and Bronzer. This was supposed to be, in my opinion, like a Fenty Beauty, their little bronzers they came out with for summer, like a dupe for that, but it's more of just like a really deep highlighter, so I do think I can get rid of that one. That's one. I have a Wet n Wild Queensland bronzer. It's from the Ice and Fire collection. It's got a little dragon on it. I do enjoy this one. It is a bit chalky. It's probably a bit old, but I do enjoy it. It is pretty luminous. It's right there on my hand. It's very warm. It's got like a golden sheen to it, but because I do feel like it's gonna be really good for summertime, the little bit I have left, I'm gonna keep it. Let's see, this one from Revolution is their coffee bronzer in the shade Cappuccino. I thought it would smell. It does not. It is very dark for me. It was the only shade they had at my Marshalls, and I find that it's very red toned, and I thought I was doing something wrong when I would do my makeup and use this. I'm like, something just does not look right. It looks muddy. It's this. Goodbye. That's 2. Wow, okay. Let me fix my pile over here, as I do feel like we're about to come crashing down if I don't. Yeah, that's 2. We're doing great, guys. Okay. So this one is my new favorite that I've been using. It's the Jaclyn Hill Skinny Dip Pressed Bronzer. So cute. It looks very light, but it's actually very neutral, and it just adds a subtle hint of warmth to my skin, and I've really been enjoying that lately. Let's see, I've got one from Physicians Formula. This is their Butter Buddies bronzer. This is so cute. I love how just neutral it is. Again, it's very similar to the Latte one. Just this one's just a hint darker, but I just love how neutral they are and how beautiful they look on the skin. So I'm going to be keeping that one as well. This one from Wet n Wild, their Live, Laugh, and Hug Care Bears bronzer, is a bit too deep for me, but I actually really love it. If I go really light-handed, I can use it. I would like to keep it. Plus, how can I get rid of that? Look at that packaging. It's adorable. This one from Morphe. It is their Big Shot Glam Bronze Face and Body Bronzer. Now, I absolutely love the color of this. I just don't feel like it suits my skin tone. It looks very muddy on me, and I do think I'm gonna get rid of it. I hate to say that, but I do think I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna put it in the maybe, I don't know, because I mean, I love the way it looks. It's just sometimes if I go even the least bit out of hand with it, it gets messy. Let me put my other bronzers in here and I'll see if I have a little bit of room for it. If I do, I'll kind of just slide them in there.
Here are my blushes and bronzers. So this row is my blushes, and then there's my Jaclyn one and my Benefit one, and then here are my bronzers, and that's the Latte and the Wet n Wild one. I did stick him back there. We do have room now. I think it looks much better than it did before. With the palettes added in, I think it looks so much better. I do think I'm going to just let go of the Jaclyn Hill blush and bronze duo and just keep it like this because I really love how organized it looks.
Let's get into some big palettes, and if everything goes well, we might do highlighters as well, but my highlighters are in this big box right here, so I don't really think we will get around to them. It's literally full to the brim. I love my highlighters. They're some of my favorite things to try out. I just don't think we'll get around to them, so let's just do our big palettes and see how that goes. So I do have 3 palettes that are like just blush palettes. I'm kind of breaking it into just blush, just highlight, and then face palettes, okay? So here are, I'm gonna move you guys down a little bit so you can see just my blush palettes. I've got my Made by Mitchell Blush book. This is the one that I was talking about. It has a bit of everything. It's got the neutrals, it's got a few pinks, like that, you know, Juvia's Place duo. So I do think I can live without that one and keep this. It's got purples, it's got nudes, it's got oranges, pinks, anything you can need. Love this blush book. Blush book? I don't know, have you guys seen the curve cases he just came out with? I really want that medium one. Really want that medium one. I start working next week, so when I get paid, I'm probably grabbing that medium one. This is the Beauty Bakery Cotton Candy Champagne Blush Lighter Palette. Just use these as blushes. It's just stunning. It gives you a bit of a glow. It's like a glowy blush book. Love these. This shade's obviously my favorite. I am actually, if you see a little bit of glow, I actually just dusted this one over my cheeks earlier. Just wanted a little bit of oomph, you know, because it was a no makeup day. So yeah, it's very beautiful. I'm going to keep it. And then I also have my Pat McGrath collab with Bridgerton, this bulky thing. I wish the packaging was just more slim because they're just baked blushes and one highlighter. So I don't really use the highlighter, that's why I consider it just a blush palette, because I mean, you know, it's meh, honestly. It's not the best, you know, meh. It's subtle, it's mainly just glittery. It's right there, you know, it's mainly just glitter. So, you know, I don't really use it much. So it is just a blush palette for me. While I love the formula, it's very bulky. I do think I'll keep it, but gosh, I just wish it was slimmer. And I don't know if there's a way to depot these, because a lot of the times these baked formulas are just kind of like baked and then glued to the component. So I'm scared to try to depot it, or I would. So yeah, we're not even gonna attempt it. We're gonna leave it alone, okay? Let's move on to the highlight palettes. We'll save the face palettes for last. This one is my newest one. It's from P. Louise. This is the CEO highlighting palette. Comes with a really big mirror, which is nice. I'm gonna fold it back so it doesn't blind you. Oh, look at this. Like, would you just look at this goodness? Holy crap. I'm gonna be honest, I wanted the blush book too, but if I would have got that, I literally would have had to get rid of every single one of my blushes because I would have had every color that I had in my collection pretty much. Maybe minus the oranges, but yeah, this is beautiful. Look at the duochrome here, like pink, orange, pink, orange. I love these so much. You get a beautiful like white to pink, you know, like they're just gorgeous. They're so pigmented. They're absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely keeping that one. This one, the Ulta collaboration with the Avengers, the Stronger Together one, I absolutely am obsessed with Marvel, and I keep saying I'm gonna get rid of it because I just don't use it, but I can't, because it's just beautiful. This one down here is like a Amorese from ABH dupe, you know, that one that everybody's sold out and it won't come back. It's a dupe for that one. I do have that highlighter, but it's nice to have these formulas because it's so beautiful. It's just smooth like butter formula, and I just can't get rid of it. It might be old, and in fact I know it's old. It's like 4 or 5 years old, maybe more, because I was in high school when this came out, I think. Yeah, so I mean, it's at least 5-6 years old at this point, but I can't get rid of it because it's so good still to this day. It performs amazing. So I have the ABH Nicole Guerrero. This is the original one, again old, but I do have a backup. This one's leaking oil like crazy. Probably need to depot it. Yeah, it's leaking oil bad, but this is one of my favorite highlighting palettes of all time. Absolutely love this. Again, I've got, when they relaunched it, I bought a backup, so I do have that. I don't think that if it's just because it leaks oil, it necessarily makes it bad. You know, I'll just depot this one shade and get on with my business, but I'm definitely keeping it. Yeah, Forever Young is definitely my favorite shade in here. Next would probably be, is that Kitty Cat? Yeah, I love these shades so much. And then I also have another ABH palette. This is the Dream Glow Kit. I also have Moonchild, but I have like a makeup memory box where old stuff that I know I'm not going to use anymore goes. She's hanging out in there. So yes, this is absolutely beautiful. I love these kind of out there colors. They are a bit chunky. It's definitely a different formula than what they normally do. If you can get past the chunkiness of them, they actually are very beautiful. You just have to kind of learn to work with them a bit. I actually hated it at first. I gave it to my mom, so I'm like, I hate this formula, but you really just have to work with it. It takes a bit, and that's okay. This is the Jeffree Star Supreme Frost Pro Northern Lights palette. That was a mouthful. I do love this, specifically the shade Anchorage. Yes, Anchorage, Thawed Out, and Alaskan Ice. Yeah, this one, and this one are my favorite shades. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't really use the blue, don't really use the gold, but they do make a nice eyeshadow. I have used them for that before. This is a huge Adept Cosmetics Z palette. I think it's Adept, I'm pretty sure. Adept Cosmetics, right? It's got my depotted Jeffree Skin Frost palettes in here, because I had like 3 or 4, and then there's 2 Wet n Wild blush lighters over here on the side from their Hummingbird Hype collection. Love those. I really love those Wet n Wild blush lighters. The packaging that they use is just so cheap. They both broke and I panicked, so I just added them to there. It was a hell of a little extra space, which was wonderful. Let's get these face palettes out the way, shall we? Oh my gosh, it just keeps going. So I do have a few more I forgot to grab, but let me actually had a highlighter one that I forgot as well. This is the Urban Decay Naked Illuminating Trio. Gosh, this is old. I do think it's time to say goodbye. Put her in my makeup memory box because it is an OG and I loved it for a long time. Okay, just a big pile of palettes. Oh gosh. I'm sad, so I know I need to get rid of some. This is from Dragon Beauty. This is one of my first like higher end face palettes. I really did love it. The things I hated about it, because I loved and hated some things, I hated the chunkiness and how hard pressed this highlighter was. This one was beautiful. This one was so hard pressed. I hated how powdery and loose this blush was. And then I hated how just muddy looking that was for me, but I understand why it's in here because some people can use it. I loved how smooth and just beautiful this highlighter was. This blush was one of my favorites of all time until it as well started to hard pan. And this bronzer was one of my favorites. But right now, all I use from here is this bronzer. So I do think it is time to go. That's sad. Do I put her in my makeup memory box or do I just throw it away? I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of it. Okay, this one from Hourglass is their Elephant Ambient Lighting Palette. Love this. It's definitely more subtle than the rest of my makeup, but it is absolutely beautiful. I love that it comes with not 1 but 2 finishing powders, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlighter. It's just stunning. I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, let's do a couple more. I know I'm gonna keep. This one is from Wet n Wild. It's their Stitch collection, the Hula Honey Glow Face Palette. We've got 2 bronzers and 2 highlighters in here. I think I'm actually gonna try to add this to my drawer. Yes, it fits. Okay, this is going in on my bronzers and blushes because it's just got bronzers and highlights in there. Charlotte Tilbury Nude Gasm Face Palette. One of my favorites. Keeping it for sure. Love how glowy the blush and the highlighter are. They're absolutely stunning. I like to mix the bronzers at the bottom. Oh gosh. All right, my Lorac Contour Pro. This one and the next one were my two first ever like face palettes. And they were my first loves, if you can't tell. So this is very sentimental to me, as well as my Too Faced Cocoa Contour that comes up next. I need to declutter it. I do think it's going to go in my makeup memory box though, because again, they're kind of what taught me how to sculpt my face. Here's my Cocoa Contour. Still got the original brush and everything with it. Look at that. Does it still smell? Barely. It's got a very faint chocolate smell to it. Yeah, that's gonna go too. I hate that they repackaged it and changed the colors in the new one that they have. I just don't like it as much. It's just not the same to me. Not even looking at it, so, or not, you know, not even trying it, just looking at it, it's not the same. It doesn't even look the same anymore. So, it is what it is though. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Divine Blush and Glow Cheek Palette in Nude Venus. This was one of her holiday palettes. This is the only thing I bought from her holiday collection. I can't remember, but I did pick this up just last year. It's got blushers and a highlight. Again, I think I'm gonna try to see if this will fit in my drawer really quick. It actually fits so perfectly down in there. I was so surprised. Okay, this one is a pressed finishing powder palette. So this was in my professional kit when I was doing makeup professionally. This is from Cara Beauty. It's the Divine Complexion palette. I really did love this for my clients. I think it was perfect for not having to carry so many different powders in your kit, instead just carry a palette, you know. And I do think I'm gonna get rid of it though, because I'm not doing makeup professionally anymore. I'm a nurse, girl. You won't catch me fooling with them. I love doing makeup professionally, but you know, sometimes it was tough. It was challenging, and having, you know, picky people, I don't know, it just got to where it was a lot, and I didn't really enjoy it. I really just enjoyed doing it on myself, friends, and family who I could, you know, practice on and do it for fun, and there was no stress that came with it, so not doing that anymore. But I did love my time that I did it. This is the Cheek Stars Reunion Tour from Benefit. My grandma got me this with a gift card that she has. She like always gets Ulta gift cards for Christmas, so she'll let me split them with her. And a couple years ago when this was out, this is what I picked. I absolutely love it. You can definitely tell my Georgia blush is hard panning down here, which is unfortunate because it is very pretty. I do still love this palette though. I love the Sugar Bomb blush, the cookie highlighter, and I actually like using Dallas as a bronzer. It's very pretty. I do not like the Hoola bronzer. It is one of my least favorite bronzers I've ever tried. Sorry, Benefit, it's just not for me. This is the Lunatic Cosmetic Labs face palette. This is one of my favorites. When I did special effects, I'm saying when I used to, I still do it, just not as often. When I used to do it, this is what I would use for just everything. Sculpting, blushing, highlighting. And when I did Sarah Sanderson for a Halloween candy give out at my grandma's house, this is what I used for eyeshadows. So it was just everything. I used it for a little bit of everything. And I really do love it. I love the packaging. I love the formula. I just love that brand. They're a really good brand. The last one I have, I think, yeah, the last one I have is from Physicians Formula. This is the All-Star face palette. I'm not getting rid of this one. This one's one of my favorites. That bronzer is just the best I've ever tried. This is their original Maru butter bronzer. It's so good. When I run out of that, I'm going to be so sad. I might actually, when I run out of it, just get rid of the entire palette and go get one of the bronzers, a single instead, because really, that's all I use from here. Now, I used to love the blush. The blush is good for wintertime because it's a bit pale and it just it doesn't show up on me right now. The two highlighters are nice, and it also comes with a finishing powder, which I do use this when I go traveling. So I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to get rid of it when I do finish it because I take it traveling with me. So I'm going to keep it. That is all I have. Oh my goodness. So technically I decluttered 5 face palettes. 2 are being like gone, and then 3 are going in my makeup memory box. So I did okay. I did pretty good, I think. I did not do like a total of things I decluttered, but yeah, I'm very happy with the numbers. I feel like I hit some goals, especially with the blushers and bronzers. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next time we'll do highlights, but that one might just be more of a collection video because I have a really hard time letting go of those. But if you guys want to see it, I'll definitely make it a go to try to get rid of some. Let me know what you guys want to see.